Welcome. Today, we're diving into an important topic, the difference between retest dates and expiry dates. Understanding this distinction is key in regulatory settings, especially when it comes to product safety and compliance. Let's explore what sets these two dates apart and why it matters for quality control. Let's start by understanding why knowing the difference between retest dates and expiry dates matters so much. Confusing these two can lead to serious problems, like using materials that aren't fit for purpose, risking product quality, or even triggering regulatory warnings. It can also cause headaches in managing inventory and disrupt the entire supply chain. The key point here is that retest dates and expiry dates aren't just labels. They have distinct scientific and regulatory roles, and mixing them up is a mistake we can't afford to make. Let's talk about expiry dates and retest dates, two key concepts in product safety and quality. An expiry date tells us when a product should no longer be used because we can't guarantee it still meets approved standards. This applies mostly to finished pharmaceuticals, sterile products, biologicals, and some medical devices. On the other hand, a retest date is when a material needs to be checked again to confirm it's still good. This usually applies to raw materials, active ingredients, excipients, and intermediates. Both dates help keep products safe and effective. When we talk about the global regulatory framework, we're looking at a set of key guidelines that keep pharmaceutical quality consistent worldwide. These include standards from the International Council for Harmonization, covering stability testing and good manufacturing practices for active ingredients. We also consider guidance from the World Health Organization, the US FDA's current good manufacturing practices, Europe's EMA guidelines, and India's Central Drugs Standard Control Organization. Across all these, the expectation is clear. Every date we set must be backed by solid scientific justification. Let's talk about the retest date, a key scientific concept in quality control. It marks the moment when stored material needs to be checked again to make sure it still meets all the required standards. Reaching this date doesn't mean the material is automatically rejected. Instead, it's retested. If it passes, great, we keep using it. If it fails, then we either reject it or dig deeper to understand why. This process is especially common with APIs and excipients stored under validated conditions. Let's talk about the expiry date, a key scientific concept in product safety. It marks the end of the approved shelf life. After this date, the product shouldn't be distributed or used. This isn't arbitrary. It's backed by stability studies, degradation profiles, packaging performance, and storage condition evaluations. Regulators are clear: no use beyond expiry without strong justification and approved processes. It's all about ensuring safety and effectiveness right up to the last day. Let's talk about a key principle in good manufacturing practice, the difference between a retest date and an expiry date. The retest date is when we reevaluate a material, like an active ingredient or intermediate, to confirm it's still good. The expiry date, on the other hand, marks the end of a finished product's approved shelf life. Retesting can extend the retest date if justified, but extending an expiry date usually needs regulatory approval. Importantly, materials can be used after passing retest, but finished products can't be used past expiry. When it comes to stability studies, both storage dates need solid scientific backing. That's a regulatory must. We look at long-term stability under conditions typical for Zone IV, like India, which means 30 degrees Celsius with controlled humidity. Then, there's accelerated stability testing at higher temperatures, around 40 degrees Celsius, to see how the product holds up. We focus on critical parameters: assay, related substances, moisture, physical appearance, and microbial limits, to ensure everything stays within safe and effective ranges over time. Here, we see an example of stability data for an active pharmaceutical ingredient, or API. The table tracks the assay percentage over a period of 36 months. Starting at 100%, the assay gradually decreases, down to 98.6% at month 36. This slow decline is expected and helps us determine the product's shelf life. Assigning retest dates relies on this kind of data, ensuring the API remains effective and safe throughout its intended use. Here, we're looking at tablet stability over time, measured by assay percentage. The specification range is set between 95 and 105%. At 36 months, the assay value drops to 95.2%, just above the lower limit. This means the product is still within acceptable quality, but only just. Because of this, the regulatory decision might be to limit the approved expiry date to 36 months, ensuring safety and effectiveness throughout the product's shelf life. When it comes to regulatory labeling, clarity is key. Here, we see examples for both the active pharmaceutical ingredient and the finished product. The API label includes a retest date, while the finished product label shows an expiry date. It's crucial that these dates are clearly distinguished. Mixing them up can lead to serious issues. Storage instructions and batch numbers also need to be precise, so everyone handling the product knows exactly what to expect. When it comes to regulatory compliance, there are some common pitfalls we see again and again. Confusing retest dates with expiry dates is a frequent issue. Sometimes, stability data is missing or incomplete. Failure to retest active pharmaceutical ingredients, using expired materials, or extending dates without proper support, these all raise red flags. On top of that, inadequate trend analysis can mask underlying problems. The consequences aren't minor: warning letters, formal GMP observations, product recalls, and even batch rejections can follow. Staying vigilant is critical. Today, we're diving into how digital transformation is reshaping quality management. Artificial intelligence helps us predict stability trends and forecast shelf life with greater accuracy. Machine learning steps in to determine risk-based retest intervals, making processes smarter and more efficient. Electronic stability systems provide automated alerts, trending dashboards, and real-time monitoring, keeping us ahead of potential issues. Digital twins offer virtual simulations of product degradation, letting us test scenarios without physical trials. All of this supports a regulatory trend toward lifecycle-based quality management, powered by data analytics. Here, we're looking at a key difference between retesting and expiry in product management. Retesting allows for continued use of a material or product, as long as it passes the required checks. Expiry, on the other hand, signals the end of approved use, no exceptions. The slide breaks down the life cycle of finished products versus materials, showing how retesting fits into ongoing quality assurance. Ultimately, this approach supports a risk-based decision framework, helping us decide when it's safe to keep using something or when it's time to let it go. We've covered a lot about retest dates and expiry dates, two key concepts in pharmaceutical quality management. Retest dates mainly apply to raw materials and intermediates, letting us reevaluate their suitability over time. Expiry dates, on the other hand, are for finished products and don't allow routine extension. Both rely on solid stability data and scientific backing. The guidelines from ICH and other agencies shape these rules, and now digital tools are helping us manage stability and compliance more efficiently. Understanding these distinctions keeps us compliant and ensures product quality from start to finish. Thanks for joining me today. If you need any more help or have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you. This video was created with SlideSpeak. Visit SlideSpeak to turn your presentations into engaging AI-narrated videos.